Okay, so let me state few more questions. So here is the next question. I have forgot the numbering, so I'll call this 1 itself. 1. Let me write the question. Now, this is the question. You have been given this equation. You have been given this equation 1 by x minus 1 plus 2 by x minus 2 plus 3 by x minus 3 equals to x. So you have to prove that the roots of this equation are all real. This equation cannot have complex roots, cannot have imaginary roots. So we don't know any way now that we don't know we don't have any method to prove that the roots are all real. So what I'll do, I'll assume that suppose it has complex roots, suppose this has complex roots, and that will lead to a contradiction. We will show this way, okay? We will assume that this has a complex root and we'll show that that leads to a contradiction. So let me start that way. So the solution, okay? So assume that the given equation has a root alpha plus I beta. I'm assuming that suppose that this equation has a complex root alpha plus I beta, and definitely where alpha and beta are real numbers, you know. And one more thing to note is beta not equals to 0, because if beta is 0, this will no more be a complex root, that becomes a real root alpha. So beta should not be 0. Okay, now you see, if I take LCM here, cross multiply and all, this will reduce to a algebraic equation of degree 4. You can see why it is of degree 4. If I take the LCM here, so this will become x cube, and if I send them this side, that will become x to the power 4 due to the presence of this x. So anyways, this is an algebraic equation of degree 4. That is not our concern, but what is of our concern is that the coefficients will be real. The coefficients will be real. That is important, okay? So if the coefficients are real, that means if alpha plus I beta is a root, then alpha minus I beta will also be a root by the previous theorem. So since the coefficients of the equation are all real, so alpha minus I beta is also a root of the equation. So we know this, if the coefficients are real, then if alpha plus I beta is a root, then alpha minus I beta is also a root. Good enough. Now we'll just use the fact that these two are roots. So because this is a root, in place of x we'll put this, and because this is a root, in place of x we'll put this. So therefore I'll put 1 by 1. So because this is a root, just put here alpha plus I beta. Okay, so therefore 1 by alpha plus I beta minus 1 plus 2 by alpha plus I beta minus 2, 3 by alpha plus I beta minus 3 equals to alpha plus I beta, and what will I have? Similarly 1 by alpha minus I beta minus 1 plus 2 by alpha minus I beta minus 2 plus 3 by alpha minus I beta minus 3 equals to alpha minus I beta. So I have just used the fact that alpha plus I beta and alpha minus I beta both are roots. Now what will I do? let's subtract these equations. So let's subtract this minus this. Okay, so on subtraction, let's see what we get. On subtraction, we get, so this minus this, this minus this minus this, and so on, right? So let's subtract. So 1 by, it's a bit calculated, so I'll just write this way: alpha minus 1 plus I beta minus 1 by alpha minus 1 minus I beta. I'm doing this minus this, but I'm writing the coefficient this way: alpha minus 1. I'm actually separating the real and the imaginary parts. So alpha minus 1 plus I beta, alpha minus 1 minus I beta, right? So this is the first part, plus this minus this, so taking 2 common, and what will I get? In the similar manner, 1 by alpha minus 2 plus I beta minus 1 by alpha minus 2 minus I beta, plus 3 times 1 by alpha minus 3 plus I beta minus 1 by alpha minus 3 minus I beta equals to, now if I am subtracting this, so alpha and alpha is getting cancelled, I beta, and this will become plus I beta, that will become 2I beta. If you have any confusion up to here, feel free to ask. Now you simplify this. So this goes here and this goes here. You see, this will become alpha minus 1 minus I beta. So minus alpha plus 1 minus I beta. So after cancelling, you will simply remain with minus 2 I beta. Just try to simplify this. You send this here, you write this here, and there is a minus, be careful. So this becomes, in the numerator I have alpha minus 1 minus I beta, then minus of this thing. So minus alpha plus 1 minus I beta. Alpha getting cancelled, minus 1 plus 1 getting cancelled, and minus 2I beta minus 2I beta. That will become, sorry, minus I beta minus I beta. That will become minus 2I beta. And in the denominator, I will have the product of this and this. What is the product of this and this? So this is A, consider this as B. A, B. So A plus B into A minus B. So A square minus B square. I'll exactly write this thing after simplification. So after simplification, you will get something like this. So this implies minus 2I beta by alpha minus 1 whole square plus beta square. Then here you'll get something like this. They haven't simplified, I'm doing it. So minus 4I beta by alpha minus 2 whole square plus beta square, and minus 6I beta by alpha minus 3 whole square. You please simplify by the steps which I said. You will get surely this. Okay, you'll surely get this. So if I take minus 2I beta as a common factor, I'll remain with 1 minus alpha minus 1 whole square plus beta square plus 2 by alpha minus 2 whole square plus beta square plus 3 by alpha minus 3 whole square plus beta square. This equals to 2I beta. Or what I can do, oh, it was minus 2I beta, so sorry. Is it? Yeah, it was minus 2I beta. I had made a mistake. This was minus 2I beta. I beta minus I beta, right? I beta minus, no, it's correct one. I don't know. Yeah, so we are getting this, and what I'll do now, I'll again shift this to the left hand side and take 2I beta common from this also. I should have done in this step only. So anyways, so what I'll do, minus 2i beta is still common, so 1 by alpha minus 1 whole square plus beta square plus 2 by alpha minus 2 whole square plus beta square plus 3 by alpha minus 3 whole square plus beta square. Now you see, I'm sending this to the left hand side, so this will become minus 2i beta, and I'm taking minus 2i beta common, so I'll remain with plus 1, and this is equal to 0, right? This is equal to 0. Now we are almost done. Now you see here, the product of two numbers is 0. So this is 0, this into this is 0, right? So 2i cannot be 0. So you see, this number cannot be 0, this quantity. First of all, this is the sum of the squares of two numbers. So this is always positive. This is always positive. This is always positive. This is always positive. And I have sum or plus here. So this quantity can never be 0. This quantity can never be 0 for sure, because I have sum of positive numbers. So sum of positive numbers cannot be 0. So because this cannot be 0, so the term inside the bracket is not 0. Therefore, the only possibility is, so this cannot be 0 and minus 2i cannot be 0. So only possibility is beta equals to 0. And you see, this is a contradiction, because I had assumed that beta cannot be 0. Because if beta is 0, that means it only has, like, that is the real root. Okay, so beta is equals to 0. This proves that the equation cannot have this proves that the equation cannot have roots of the form alpha plus I beta, where beta not equals to 0. So this cannot have equation of the form alpha plus I beta where beta cannot be 0, because beta should be 0 from here, right? So therefore the equation has all real roots. Okay, so this question is basically asked in university exams most of the time. Okay, this kind of questions. If you have any doubt, you can ask. So here is the another question. So look at this question. They have asked us to solve an algebraic equation of degree 4. Okay, so we have to solve this equation, and they have given a condition. This equation has 4 distinct roots. So all the 4 roots are different, but one thing they have said, of equal moduli. So their modulus value is same. So if the roots are complex, you know the meaning of the modulus, and if the roots are real, modulus means just removing the sign. So mod 5 is 5, mod minus 2 is 2, right? And if the roots are complex, then the meaning of the modulus, you know, if z is the complex number x plus iy, its modulus is root over of x square plus y square. Okay. Now you see, and they have said which has 4 distinct roots of equal moduli. So look at this phrase, 4 distinct roots of equal moduli. So 4 roots cannot be all real, right? 4 roots cannot be all real. Why? Because if I am taking like if suppose it has root 5, suppose, so I am taking 5, another root can be 5, minus 5, right? Their modulus are same and they are distinct. These are distinct numbers, but their modulus are same. But can you find more real numbers like this whose modulus are same as 5, so same as them? You cannot, right? Like, what my point is, this equation cannot have all 4 real roots. in that case this will not be used. What they have said, 4 distinct roots of equal moduli will not be satisfied. So if I am taking the real root to be r, another real root can be minus r, and other real roots is not possible, because in that case they will not be distinct. I cannot find any other real number whose again modulus is r. So what may happen? So two cases may arise. Two cases may arise. And one more thing to note, because the coefficients are all real, so if the complex roots are there, they will always occur in conjugate pairs, right? So two cases may arise. Okay. Number one, two real roots and two complex roots. Two real roots and two complex roots. So what are the roots? In that case, suppose the real roots are r and minus r, and the complex roots are r. I'm writing in the polar form, cos theta plus minus I sin theta. Look at the modulus of each of them. So the modulus of this complex number is r, modulus of this is r, modulus of this is r only. I'm assuming that r is positive. So where r is the modulus? Where r cannot be negative due to this fact. R is the modulus of this complex number, where r is the modulus. Okay. So this thing may happen, or another case may also happen, or number 2, it does not have real roots on it. So all the 4 roots are complex. So I have assumed 2 real roots and 2 complex roots, or 4 complex roots. Okay, all complex roots. So what I am assuming, the all complex roots, let the first 2 be cos theta plus minus I sin theta. Why I am writing plus minus I sin theta? They are the conjugate of each other. The coefficients are real, so the roots will always occur in complex conjugate forms, right? And another be r cos phi plus minus I sin. Did you understand? And there cannot be any other case. You just think why there cannot be any other cases. If you have any doubt, you please ask. Why these 2 cases are only possible? So if I give you an algebraic equation of degree 4, it may happen that all 4 roots are real, right? But in this case it cannot happen, because they are saying the roots are all distinct. So if the roots are distinct, all cannot be real. Distinct, and one more condition they have said, of equal moduli. So this distinct and equal moduli removes that case of having all 4 equal roots, right? Because r and minus r are distinct real roots, but any other real root will not be distinct from them, having equal moduli. So now next I'll go to 2 real, 2 complex. That may be the possibility, and all complex. And there cannot be 3 real and 1 complex. Remember why? Because we have done a theorem. If the coefficients are all real numbers, then what happens? It will always have complex roots in pairs. If alpha plus I beta is a root, then alpha minus I beta is also a root. And here I have taken the complex roots in polar form. That will make our calculation easier. So let's do one by one. Let's see what happens in the first case, and let's see what happens in the second case. Okay. So case 1. So if these 4 are the roots, so my given equation will be identical to this. You will understand why. So the given equation is identical to this. So because r is the root, so x minus r will be a factor, right? Minus r is the root, so x plus r will be a factor. And similarly, r cos theta plus I sin theta is the root, so x minus, so be very careful, I should write like this, r cos theta plus I sin theta is a factor times one more term is remaining, x minus, so r cos theta minus I sin theta is a factor. So because if these four are the roots, my given equation will be identical to this times this times this times this. So simplify them a bit, or what is this? X square minus r square, right? Now we will again simplify this. Try to understand how will I simplify them. You think this term as a, if I open the bracket, think this term as a, and you think this term as a only, right? Both are same. So I am thinking this as a, x minus r cos theta, x minus r cos theta. And if I open the bracket, what will I get? Minus ir sin theta. Here I'll get plus ir sin theta. So do I see a formula? A plus b into a minus b. So into a square. What is a square? X minus r cos theta whole square, a square minus b square. What is b? What was b? B was ir sin theta. If I square them, I square will be minus 1, so it makes it plus r square and sin square theta. Did you understand or no? Please ask if you are not understanding anything. Simplify a bit more. So what is this? X square minus r square. So open the bracket, a square plus b square minus 2ab 2rx cos theta and plus r square sin square theta equals to 0. So what will I get? X square minus r square, x square minus 2r cos theta x. So this and r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta. If I take r square common, so what will I get? Cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is 1. So I'll simply remain with r square. Right? So let's multiply them. So x square with x square, x to the power 4, right? And x square with this will become minus 2r cos theta x cube. Good enough. Then x square with r square x square, right? R square x square, I'll write x square a bit later. You see, r square x square, let me write it down, otherwise you get confused. So I have multiplied x square with every term. Similarly, multiply minus r square with every term. So what will I get? Minus r square x square plus 2r cube cos theta x minus plus minus r to the power 4 equals to 0. You see here r square x square minus r square x square is 0. That is getting cancelled. Let me write what I have. My claim is this cannot happen. Why? Because the equation that I am getting, this equation must be identical to the given equation, right? But you look at this equation does not have a term containing x square. This equation does not have a term containing x square, but look at our original equation. This actually had a term containing x square. So this cannot happen due to the fact that this does not have this does not have a term containing x square, which cannot happen because my original equation had the term containing x square, right? So this case will not hold in this particular question. It may so happen that this case will hold for some other question, but here this term cannot hold. Okay, so let me write that. So this is the reason. This cannot happen since there is a term containing x square in the given equation, but my factorization does not contain x square. Let's go to case 2 now very quickly. Now you see one more thing you'll see. Now you look, how did I simplify this and this? The simplification was like this and this. Now I'll simply write this as this one. So when the roots are complex, like of this form, so the factor that the quadratic will be this into this. After simplification will be simply this x square minus 2r cos theta x plus r square. So remember that. Now I will do it directly. Okay, instead of writing this, let's do it directly. So we'll go to case number 2 when the roots are complex. So these two roots will give a factor of this form. Similarly, these two roots will give a factor of this kind only. Just theta will be replaced by 5. So let me write that very quickly. So case 2. The given equation is identical with so x square minus 2r cos theta plus r square, right? And x square minus 2r cos theta x, it was there, 2r cos same just to simplify that, cos phi x plus r square equals to 0. Your task is to multiply. After multiplying you will get something like this, x to the power 4 minus 2r, you arrange all the powers in the ascending order, in the descending order. So 2r cos theta plus cos phi x square, this is the coefficient of x square, plus, I'll not write it here, I'll write it here, plus 2r square 1 plus 2 cos theta cos phi x square minus, I again write it here, it will not fit, minus 2r cube cos theta plus cos phi x plus cos phi x plus r to the power 4 is 0. So basically what I am doing, I am just multiplying x square with x square, x to the power 4, x square with this and x with this, I am getting x cube here, so sorry, this is x cube, yeah, and so on. So just to simplify, you will get this. Now because this is identical with the given equation, so but the given equation is, what is my given equation? It was x to the power 4 minus x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 1 equals to 0. So therefore compare the coefficients. So what is the constant term here? R to the power 4. Here the constant term is 1. So r to the power 4 must be equal to 1. Next, what is the coefficient of x here? Minus 1. What is the coefficient of x here? Right? What is the coefficient of x here? This. So minus 1 will be equated to this. So minus minus got cancelled. So 2r cube cos theta plus cos phi equals to 1. So what is the coefficient of x here? Minus 2r cube cos theta plus cos phi, but the coefficient of x here is, you see, minus 1. So minus minus got cancelled. Next, let's equate the coefficient of x square. So the coefficient of x square is this, the coefficient of x square is 2, so 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So what I'll get? R square with 1 plus 2 cos theta cos phi equals to 1. Next, the coefficient of x square. What is the coefficient of x square? It's so huge. So, sorry, x square I computed, right? Now the coefficient of x cube. So, compare the coefficient minus 1 equated to this. So, 2r cos theta plus cos phi equals to, so minus 1 minus 1. What answer? Yeah, so this is 1. And coefficient of x to the power 4 is 1, x to the power 4 is 1, no need to write. We have this many equations to solve for r, theta and phi. So, r to the power 4 equals to 1 implies, what will r to the power 4 equals to 1 imply? And remember, r is positive because r was the modulus of a complex number. The only thing is r equals to 1. So, I have got the value of r as 1. So, just put r equals to 1 in all of these equations. Let's see. So, when r is 1, what I am getting, this is 1. What I am getting, cos theta plus cos phi equals to 1 by 2. I am getting this. I am getting this because this is 1. This will go that side. Similarly, if I am putting r1 here, I am getting cos theta plus cos phi equals to half, which I have already written. So no need to write this. This is useless. Now this, when r square equals to 1, what I am getting? So this is 1. What I am getting? So 2 cos theta cos phi. Let me write. What I am getting? 1 plus 2 cos theta cos phi equals to 1. So using these two equations, I have to solve for theta and phi, right? Because r is 1, I have got, and this is not giving us any new equation. Using this two, we'll solve for theta and phi. Very quickly, let's do it. It will not take much time, maybe 2-3 more minutes. 1 and 1 is getting cancelled. I am getting 2 cos theta cos phi equals to 0. And I am getting cos theta cos phi equals to 0. So either cos theta equals to 0 or cos phi equals to 0. Right? I am getting this. So I have got either, I'll write in the next page. So either cos theta equals to 0 or cos phi equals to 0. Because product of two numbers is 0. Either this is 0 or this is 0. So either cos theta equals to 0 or cos phi equals to 0. I have this. Now you see, when cos theta is 0, when cos theta is 0 and this is 0, cos phi will be half, and similarly the other way around. So let me write that. When cos theta is 0, this implies cos phi is half, and when cos phi is 0, that will imply cos theta equals to half. So these are my cases. These are my cases. So we'll do it. Almost done. So when cos theta is 0, now see here, when cos theta is 0, what is sin theta? You may do it, sin theta will be 1 by using the fact that cos square theta plus sin square theta equals to 1. Okay, use that fact and you'll get sin theta equals to 1. And similarly, when cos phi is half, use the fact that cos square phi plus sin square phi equals to 1. So 1 minus 1 by 4, that is 3 by 4 root over, that will become root 3 by 2. Similarly here, when cos phi is 1, what will my sin phi? Sin phi will be 1, and when cos theta is half, my sin theta will be root 3 by 2. Right. So we are done. What were my roots? What were my roots? So the roots are, my first root was this, remember that, r cos theta plus minus I sin theta, and other roots were r cos phi plus minus I sin phi. Just put the values. R is 1, no need to write. Cos theta, I'm taking this case first. So cos theta is 0. So when cos theta is 0, no need to write this. And plus minus I sin theta. So plus minus 1. So from here I'm getting plus minus I. Right? And comma. From here I'm taking this case only. Cos phi is half. So R is 1. Cos phi is half. Plus minus I sin phi. So I root 3 by 2. So that is I plus minus I and 1 plus minus I root 3 by 2. So these are my roots. And with this case also I'll get the same answer. You see, when cos phi is 0 and sin phi is 1, I'm getting what? I'll put it here. So this is 0, this is 1 and this is 1. So plus minus I, which I have already written here. And cos theta is half and sin theta is root 3 by 2. If I put it here, I also get the same result. So these are my roots of the given equation. If you have any doubt, please ask. This is a very important sum from exam's point of view. Okay, I'll do a similar sum in the next class also, just for your practice. But if you have any doubt in this question, please ask.